Can you believe it has been over a year since I started my AU Fairmont Turbo project? We've been boosting this car around the suburbs and down the drag strip for the last couple of months, and it's been running pretty good. But today, we're going to be answering some questions. We're getting it dyno tuned. You're watching MotoringBox, proudly supported by Sentry Batteries. Now, it is an understatement that this has been a long time coming, and it is important to keep our expectations a little bit tempered because the Intech VCT in stock form puts out about 130 rear wheel kilowatts, and today we are putting it up against the mighty Barra 240T as a comparison, which in the BA put out about 180 to 200 rear wheel kilowatts. So the question I want answered is, where would the Intech VCT Turbo sit? Now, considering I tuned this thing by myself up until this point, I'm going to get Scott to run it up on the dyno as it is to see what this thing is chucking out. And it also gives us a baseline to work off. Is it much of a around to put it in kilowatts, or is that going to muck you around?
No, no problem.
Is it normal for a hub dyno to be that bumpy or bouncy?
You don't have any, like there's no rubber coupling anymore.
220, shit.
And then obviously when you're on a hub dyno too, your wheels not being dragged on the second roller, it will read sort of 40 horsepower high or 50 horsepower higher than a roller.
Well, that's kind of cool because I know the stock BA turbos are around 200 at the wheels.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in the same ballpark, I guess.
What was that? Was it the D-cell cut that was doing that before, making it sort of cut in and out?
Probably.
Is that annoy you on the road, or was it alright?
I've adjusted it recently and it's been better.
Yeah.
I don't mind it because it does decel you a bit, but yeah, sometimes going from decel to back on throttle, it is a little bit jerky, but it's not too bad. Yeah, one of the big issues I had with this is I didn't have enough preload on the wastegate actuator, so it was kind of taking forever to come on boost.
Yep.
So I sort of got in there and just nipped it up, put like a couple of mil on the rod of sort of preload on it. Yeah, it seems to come on boost pretty good.
So you've made sure that the timing actually is what it is on the crank?
I've not checked it.
So you just use the offset that's known, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the trigger settings are all, it's pretty much the same as the BA, and it's what Haltech had on their website too. So, but yeah, it's not been checked with a light or anything. So yeah, the power it's got, I'm actually pretty happy with it, but you know, I'll probably be looking for your guidance, like how far can we take it safely? Is it 10 pounds or 12? I don't know.
Probably should be a little bit richer than zero back. We should probably definitely be in the 12s.
By all means, if there's anything that you spot that's like wonky, go for it. This is kind of like the first tune that I've tried to do myself, and like, yeah, like it's running, like it was running really well, but it's kind of my limited knowledge and a bit of chat GPT.
You should have just came and tuned this on my dyno yourself.
That good, was it?
Pretty close.
I can't take any praise for that though, because it was your ignition table that I stole all the data from.
It's just very conservative one anyway.
I sort of imagined the one you did for me probably was a bit conservative because it had the skinny rod Barra, and then this has got more compression, so...
This does it?
Yeah, it's like 8.8 versus 9.6. $240.
Even closer on air fuel. solid.
Is it still got a 6 target, or did you up it?
Changed it to 8.
Okay.
You mentioned you wanted to sort of head up around 10, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, 10 or 12-ish.
It's down to 7.9 degrees, you know, as the boost comes in hard.
Yep.
Climbs out of there. That's really there, right?
How do you sort of tell, like, you know, I imagine for any given engine there's a boost point where you get to where there's kind of not much point of going any higher, like...
You can tell a couple of ways, like obviously if you had turbo speed or back pressure sensor you can tell, but also the boost controller kind of tells the story as well. So if yours is already using pretty high duty cycle numbers anyway, because I think yours is bleeding off the internal gate, aren't you?
Yep.
So if you go and put, say, 5% duty cycle on there and you gain 1 pound, and you put 5% on, you gain 1 pound, then all of a sudden you've got to stick 20% on to gain 1 pound. That kind of means your exhaust back pressure is starting to be as high as, or more than that.
Yep.
So you can tell from that, you know, you probably don't want to run the turbo system where the back pressure's that high.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, plenty of people do. They run it right to the thing, won't make anything more. What boost did it make when you ran it down, like, see the...
Like,
it doesn't, from about, say, 19% down, it won't do anything different. But 19% up. Like, if you tried it at 20% G, like, what does it make?
No, I haven't tried it. Pretty much where it's at when it came in here is pretty much maybe it was down about 20% when I first started, but yeah, just sort of raised it up.
So does it make like 3 pounds a boost when there's no duty cycle on?
Haven't tested it. Probably should have. So if you didn't have enough preload, you'd expect it to be like really low. It's got a 5-pound spring in it.
Come on really late. Yeah, makes just like 3 pounds a boost.
Okay.
I guess it's 9.5 to 1.
Yeah, 9.65 I think it is, to be precise. God knows what it is now. 20-something years later, but you know.
I'd say that's pretty conservative. We want to ask for 10 pounds a boost.
Yeah, I mean, if you think it can take it.
Unfortunately, you can't put it back in when it comes out.
Are you nervous about it?
No, it does anything weird. What do you got for... So this is factory coils?
Yeah. It's got a Haltech triple channel igniter running the factory coil.
What plugged up?
0.7.
Did you say it's the ABF turbo?
It's a Pulsar turbo, 3584, but all the other gears factory. In the end, like I'm never going to be chasing huge power on this thing.
You probably just need a bit more actuator, a bit more spring than that.
I mean, the power is kind of where I wanted it to be, roughly, like mid 200s, I was sort of thinking. So this thing did, I think it was 94 miles an hour, 15.3. But it was the launch that killed it. I think it was like 2.6 seconds to the 60 foot.
How are you trying to launch it?
Just stalled it up. Like
It's stuck at 1800.
Yeah, at 1800. So I'm going to put a 2500 stall converter in it, so that'll help a bit. Because yeah, when it gets going, it actually goes really well. But it was just off the line that it's sort of 2.6 seconds to the 60 foot is slow as shit. So if I can get that down a bit, then, it should go a lot better. What did you do to get that? Just timing?
Oh, I gave the boost controller a bit of a help to actually get the boost on quicker.
Okay.
Higher duty cycle, and then I think sort of sprinkled a little bit more timing on it.
Nice.
So it only dropped down to 7 degrees now instead of 4. Definitely longer. But see, you're out of control there. You can't keep the gate shot, or you can't keep the boost coming in. So you're at 73% duty.
Yep.
So it's not going to make any more boost at that rev. So you went. There was nothing wrong with what you did.
Well, like I said, your data helped a lot.
Yeah, that's just a product of more boost. That's not,
Yeah, right.
obviously, the air fuel ratio is flat.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And richer too, by the look at that.
A little bit. You were like in the mid 12s, something between 12 4s. That's actually a little bit richer than the target. So I'll trim that up and try and see what it does. Make it a bit more.
Yeah, like I said, I was pretty happy with the power that it had. It's just, it really takes a load off my mind having you check it all over and make sure it's happy, make sure I haven't anything up. So
what I'd normally do on this car is put my knock ears on, but I know my amplifiers at home.
Yeah.
So I'd say 99% of the cars I do lately all have decent knock control, so you're not flying blind like this.
Yep. Now, before we continue, I just want to mention that this has all been made possible by channel sponsors like Century Batteries. Century Batteries have been supporting MotoringBox for a number of years now, and they have been building batteries in Australia since 1928. So if you're after a new battery for your daily driver or for your weekend project car, do consider a Century High Performance or Ultra High Performance battery. Thank you, Century Batteries, and let's get back to it.
What were you saying about wanting to have two boost levels?
So I've got I haven't got it set up at the moment, but I had it so that it switched between two different boost targets.
Yep.
I don't know if there's anything extra you have to do, like in the tune, or whether you can just change.
You just stick a second axle on that table.
Yeah, so that's what I had.
Button position or whatever it is.
Yeah. So if I just had an extra position, there's nothing else you have to change.
No. Okay. No, that's the whole point of trying to build this base duty software table.
Cool.
So once that's correct, closed loop will fix it to a certain degree, but the less work you has to do, the better it is.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know there's not much point, but yeah, I'll probably just have one at 8 and do the other at 5 or something, or
Yeah, I think you can do.
low boost and even lower boost.
Pretty sure you can do. Yeah, I think you do infinite amounts of variation. Like you can have 1 PSI increments to play around with it. Which button are you going to use?
It's this one. It's not set up at the moment, but yeah, I had it.
So it's just a two position
Yep.
state.
Yeah, like a rotary 2-position thing.
Yeah.
It is all set up, but I've just turned it off for the sake of today.
What do we change there?
Was that at full throttle?
I don't know if I got the throttle right now, maybe.
$250. Look, I'm happy with that. Nice, neat number. It's awesome.
I think you'd probably be. I don't think you'd be pushing it until 50 kilowatts from now. So do you want me to muck around looking at all your cruise stuff?
Let me think. The cruise is usually fine. Did I have any issues with it?
Like we can just buzz around here and just make sure you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Knock yourself out.
In good condition that they use, are they hard to find?
They are, yeah. This was like a $2,500 car 5 years ago. Now they're like $5.
Is this the one that you had all the remote desks and stuff?
Yeah, I had a table in this one, yeah. It actually would have been great for tuning because you could just stick your laptop on it. Yeah, I was planning to only keep this car for like 6 months back in the day, but yeah, I still got it. It's just such a good cruiser.
mate. Not much left to do.
No, I'm happy. 250 is awesome. I don't know if you have any tweaks you could make to my launch control setup. Like again, like there's not much point at the moment, but when I do put the bigger converter in it, I can get it to build, I think it's about 2 pounds, which is bugger all, but you know, with a bigger stall, I should be able to get it up a bit higher, hopefully.
So it actually gets to 1800 and sits there, does it?
Yep. I don't know, because it's in third, if it's, I suppose it won't make a difference, will it?
What it'll do is it'll actually, it'll stop it from trying to drive forward as much.
Yeah.
What triggers your launch control now?
Just brake pedal and throttle over 30%, I think it is.
And it won't go any higher than that.
So do you reckon it's set up all right? It's just RPM that's the issue?
Yeah, I mean, will it go to 1900?
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even get to 1800 looking at that.
I think you're right. If you just have 300 revs more stall speed, you'll be there, right?
Well, it should have, yeah, 700 more, hopefully.
Yeah, you're pushing shit up a hill trying to clean it.
That's all right.
The other thing you can try and do is get it to make more torque there. I mean, you probably could have a bit more timing at 2 psi, you know, without hurting it.
So long as the settings are kind of where you think they should be, it's something I can muck around with later on.
Have you tried doing it with no launch control, like just muck around with timing?
No. I've only ever done it with that. Wow.
It's just a bit more timing to sort of get it over the edge, you know. So maybe we can go. Was it
That was almost,
almost launchable?
it was like 6 or 7, wasn't it, pound? What was that little rise at the end there?
I don't know. It's like it got out of its mission retard or something.
It was around £5 when I did it. That's pretty good. If you can hit 5 at this, at 1800 RPM-ish.
I was trying to get onto the 2100 two-step that time, but end RPM was 2100.
Ah, okay.
But looking at what happened before, you're probably going to be better without launch control.
You reckon? Okay. You stall it up on the brake
Yeah.
and handbrake.
I think it's too low on the RPM to start pulling any time out. Just want to do it.
Cool. Well, I guess when you're driving it, it's kind of the same. Like you're still just stalling it up on the brake, and if it works better without it, then so be it.
Verify it once more.
Shit.
Are you using the handbrake at the drags?
I didn't know. I just stalled it up on the brake, and it at the time because of the tune, like it wasn't.
Was it trying to drive forward?
It wasn't, but it wasn't making much boost. Like I think it even struggled to get to 0.
I reckon it would do it, eh?
Okay.
I reckon it would leave at 2500.
Well, it should leave a lot better.
So it's like launch control, but I guess with no timing retard and extra fuel, it's just a limiter.
Well, it's working a load better from what I can see.
You know, it could be too, because we've got this gearbox in this weird mode. Like first gear, because of the mechanical advantage, like you might want to
Do you want me to
try and turn the tyres
plug it back in?
if you want. Or we can do it on the ground after. Yeah,
Right.
plug it in. Maybe with a bit more mechanical advantage, it might actually try about the tyres.
Yeah, right.
As long as the wheel speed doesn't change.
Yep, could feel it too.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't know if you're going to be able to hold it.
Wow. Sweet.
Yeah.
With the handbrake though.
Yeah.
All right, we are all done. And look, I'm pretty stoked. Considering what this car is, it's a stock AU Intech VCT, no valve springs, no sort of internal engine upgrades. We managed to get 250 kilowatts at the hubs. So I imagine on a roller dyno, you can probably take 5 or 10% off. It could be 240, could be 230. And as we saw on some of those runs, Scott got some more mid-range power out of it too. So that even just putting around at sort of, 5 or 10% throttle, I've noticed this thing is just taking off better than it did before. It's not as much of a slug. And to me, the most exciting part is what he did with the timing. I'm gonna have to go and have a look and see what he's done with it. But we've actually turned off the launch control that's built into the Haltech, and he's actually got an ignition timing correction of some description, which I'll need to inspect and have a look at to learn. It was actually, stalling it up on the brake with the handbrake. He was getting it up to sort of 6 or 7 pounds of boost, which is nearly the max that this thing's running. So that should help a lot if we do take it drag racing to get it off the line. And yes, when I get my built gearbox with the higher stall, that's going to help a lot too. So it should just really, both of those things should really liven this car up. And yeah, it drove well before. But when we talk about decel, sort of going from a decel to on throttle, wow, it's so smooth now. It used to be decelerating, and then as soon as you put your foot on the throttle, it would kind of and in stop-start traffic, it'd kind of be quite jerky, but Scott's just really smoothened that all out. He spent a bit of time, changing things which affect the sort of day-to-day low-speed drivability of it. Wow, that's so smooth now. Awesome. And so the question I had at the start of the video, how does the Intech VCT compare to the Barra 240T? Well, in a word, it's comparable. The Barra is always going to make more power under the same conditions, but the Intech is certainly no slouch. Our 250 kilowatts at the hubs loosely translates anywhere from 280 kilowatts at the flywheel to 305. This makes the Intech VCT Turbo an Intech 290T or maybe an Intech 300T. And to me, that is certainly something special.